It's rare that a second chance comes around. We want to make the best of that second chance.
For me, it means that we get to keep living in that evolved world that we've all created, that we've worked so hard for.
We wanted to do this because we really believe in the changes that we're making to the game.
We're free to just make it the best game it can be.
Once the players get a hold of it, then it's their game. It's our responsibility to go where they want the game to go.
And making something that somebody plays and enjoy it, I mean, that's always the best sort of feeling.
It means another chance to do something great.
And we'll be able to do a lot more for the game than we could have ever done.
We've taken everything that people have wanted and asked for, and we've crammed it into New Evolve.
We're not done yet. We have another shot.
All that mattered was getting in players' hands and then listening to them.
This change makes it so more people have the opportunity to see the greatness that is Evolve.
Hey guys, this is Jack, and today I'll be doing a general overview on the FPV simulator Liftoff. Now, I've started playing this game since the day it was launched, and since then I've amassed about 200 hours of gameplay time, and I can with all honesty say that this game has taught me many crucial skills to become the FPV pilot that I am today. Firstly, I played the game for 100 hours before I've ever even flown a real life quadcopter. After my 1 hour of simulated time, I flew a real life quad for the first time and did a flip within the first 3 seconds. That's a clear indication that this simulator helps more than you can even imagine, and you would definitely increase your real life flying skills. I have a video of this first flight on my YouTube channel, so feel free to check that out if you like. Now let's get right into the details of the Liftoff FPV simulator. Now, if you're not familiar with Liftoff at all, in short, it's basically an FPV drone racing simulator with game elements that is supported on PC, Mac and Linux. They're also planning on releasing it on other platforms in the future too. One major comment that I can make in general is that the developers have been pushing this game forward every single month. Almost on a weekly basis, I've seen updates rolling out and making the game more realistic and even increasing the graphics. The community is really active as well and growing by the day, which is awesome. This is a clear indication that the developers of the game is putting in an immense amount of time to make this the best sim out there, and they're definitely on the right track. Now, when you boot up the game, you're greeted by the calibration screen. This screen is crucial since it allows you to connect most radios to the game, so you don't have to fly with a keyboard and a mouse. It has built-in presets which covers most of the radios out there. If your radio is not listed, you can calibrate it manually, and if you don't have a radio, there are ways to connect your PlayStation or Xbox controllers as well, which is actually what I started out on before anything else. I flew Liftoff with my PS4 controller for a good 25 hours until I got my Tyrannus radio. Once your radio is calibrated, it takes us to the menu screen. Now, there's a few things you would most likely want to do before you start flying, and the first thing is making sure your game options are tweaked how you would like it. In game options, you have an on-screen display which you can toggle. I would recommend using the OSD only if you're new to the game and flying at a very low camera angle. It might be of assistance in the beginning, but later on it will most likely just annoy you. Next, you can decide if you would like to start your station with camera noise automatically switch on or not. I personally prefer to keep the switch off because it's quite nice to not have any noise for a change. You can easily switch this on or off in-game by pressing the letter C on your keyboard. The next option is whether or not you would like your sticks overlaid on the screen. This is a really nice feature if you want to show your friends how to do a specific maneuver, or if you want to record a video to watch later and see your stick inputs. I personally fly with this on all the time, and because it's on the bottom of the screen, it doesn't bother me at all. The final setting is guard mode, which basically just allows you to not damage your drone when flying. This is a massive help when you're trying to nail a new trick and don't want to restart every time you crash. I wouldn't recommend using it if you're just starting out though, because then you have to get used to it that crashing is bad. The final two toggles are for racing and building tracks. The ghost can be toggled to add a new one of the lap you just flew, or if you want to see the entire ghost from a previous completed race. Finally, you can change the measure units between metric and imperial. Just keep it on metric because we all know that the imperial system is only for complicated people. Moving on, there's a lot of settings you'll find in any other game which touches on graphics, audio and controls. This is all pretty standard. If you have a beast of a PC, then do run it on full graphics like I'm doing here. It does make a massive difference. Another thing to know is that you can edit your presets and controllers from the option tab if you like. Moving on, let's have a look at the workbench, which is where you can set up your drone. Now, there's a lot of different parts you can choose to fly with, but why would you want to fly with a slow drone? Even when you are starting out, I would recommend just jumping onto this following setup because it's by far the most fun to fly. Before I start the build, it's important to know that each component does make some dramatic changes to the flight behavior, and it does feel like it mimics it pretty close to what it would be like in real life, which I think is pretty awesome. Now for my build, I like to use the Vortex 250 Pro Metal Danny version because I really like the green. Then for the camera angle, I prefer to set it to 30 degrees. It's a good angle to fly on and you should be able to fly with it in most conditions and tracks. For the props, we'll be using the 5045 carbons since they're most likely the props you'll be flying with in real life. For the motors, we'll be using the Cobra 2300 kVs, and then finally, the battery will be the Jolt 1300 mAh 4S65C. I found that this setup is the most potent in the game, but you are more than welcome to try out any other builds. If you do find something better, then please do let me know. Now let's get right into the flying. Firstly, there are a lot of modes that you can choose from. Free flight is like free play mode where you can just mess around and enjoy yourself or practice maneuvers without any limitations on any track you like. And then finally, race is where you can fly time-lapse on courses you built or courses that are in the game. Let's have a closer look at the racing feature. When doing a race, your lap times are automatically recorded and the ghost of your previous lap also starts to show up after every lap. This is a really cool feature and it pushes you to do each lap better and faster than the last one. You can also fly in third-person view if you really want to. You would obviously never be able to do this in real life, but it was quite fun messing around like this on a track and in free flight. Now when you hit the escape button, you access the pause menu. In here you can tune your quad's PIDs, rates and exponent curves. These are the current settings I fly on and I would definitely recommend you copy these over to your game. It does make the quad fly a little smoother. When you do get the game, just come back to this video, have a look at this part again, copy these settings over and then you can carry on. Next, let's have a look at the track builder. The track builder is a feature I am truly excited about. I really love the drawing board as well, since this allows me to build tracks to scale and practice them. I usually build a track that I will be racing on at a local competition and practice flying that track for at least 5 hours non-stop. It makes a massive difference when you get there and are already very familiar with the track and its corners. It's also very easy to build a track. There are lots of different elements that you can choose from, ranging from gates, flags, markers, structures, checkpoints and barrier tapes. These come in all different shapes and sizes, which makes the possibilities truly endless. Another really cool feature is that you can share and download tracks from the community. There are tons of guys out there building some amazing tracks which you can download free of charge. Some are a little unrealistic, but super fun to fly on nonetheless. These tracks can also be downloaded as races, which allows you to race against your friends and see who truly is the fastest. Finally, another really cool feature worth mentioning is definitely the in-game music player. The music player allows you to add your own music which you would like to listen to in-game. This way you'll never get bored of tracks being played in the background. And that about covers it. This game is super fun and has a massive potential. I'm sure that the developers are working really hard at some more updates such as the multiplayer racing, which I am looking forward to the most, as well as leaderboards, Steam Workshop integration and video tutorials. As my final note, I would most definitely recommend this game to anyone that is serious about learning to fly FPV or who wants a platform to work on their skills. Yes, there are many free-to-play simulators out there, but not a single one of them come close to Liftoff in terms of features, realism and fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this overview, and if you have any questions, I'd be happy to help and answer you wherever I can, so just leave me a comment below. Thanks a ton for watching and I'll catch you guys in my next video. This is Jack, signing off. you.